Hi my dear friends, this is Taz from Taslima Maya Art. Welcome to my channel of mixed media and fluid art creations. It's great to have you here, and don't forget to hit those like, share and subscribe buttons, and do leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. So for this week's The Fluid Art Express, we are bringing you a Spooktacular Halloween special. You can find the playlist to the full lineup of artists in the description box below. So today I'll be creating my pumpkin patch swipe pour on a canvas that's embellished with dimensional pen and resin tinted with ColourArtes Vivid Intense fluorescents that have a spooky glow under a black light. I really hope you enjoy this little experiment of two paintings in one. In stage 1, I do a swipe pour for the background using silicone oil on canvas that's 30 by 25 centimeters. I'll go straight into some music for you so you can sit back and enjoy, and there will be intermissions where there'll be some talking or voiceover. This is a quick flyover of what I've just created. Some beautiful colours dispersed in this. In stage 2, I'll transfer the image, apply dimensional plate and tint the resin in order to create my pumpkins. Hi everyone, I just want to show you my dried result of my painting, and here is the dried result. Because this had silicone, I wiped it over with some dish soap and water, and it's dry now, so it's very shiny. It's got lovely autumnal colours in it. It's very beautiful. There's a lot of dark area down here, but that doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do next for phase 2, and don't worry, there's only 2 phases, is actually I printed out a picture off the internet that's royalty free, and this is kind of clip art, and I really liked it, so I'm going to be transferring this image onto my canvas for the next part, and I'm going to be doing that in a very simple method. I'm going to be using this transfer paper, and it's black. I also have white, but I think black should be okay for this. I'm going to place it here, and I'm going to actually decide before I do that whereabouts my pumpkin's going to sit. They're going to sit down in this darkened area here. So I think quite far down around there would be pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is put my transfer paper, the black side down on here. I'm going to put this on top of it, like so. And I'm just going to, I could tape it down possibly so it doesn't move, but I think I'll be alright. I'm just going to use a dotting tool rather than a pen to go over all the lines and transfer them. So fingers crossed this works, and I'm just going to do that now. So I'll just quickly show you how I'm doing that. Now the canvas is a slightly bouncy, but it should be okay. Hopefully I'll still get the lines down. And I'm just tracing over the lines basically. Make sure you do get a royalty free, copyright free image. You can also buy images from lots of different places. I'll put the links in down in my description box for you. And I'm simply tracing this bit now. So I think you get the idea. Once I've traced it, I will remove the sheet, and I'll hopefully have these lines transferred over onto my canvas. And it doesn't really matter if I don't get it exactly right, as long as the general gist of the image is transferred over. That's all I'm really bothered about. So there's a little bit there. And I am using the thicker nibbed dotting tool to make sure some of those, that transfer actually goes through. So I'm just going to double check I've done this. I think I may have, just in case. Now there's this bit here, and then this lovely bit here. And again, I'm going to go all the way around. And then again, this piece here. And I absolutely love pumpkins. My husband actually grows a lot of them in his allotment, so we have them every year, and the girls love carving them around this time of year, so we have a lot of fun with that. I'm going to go to the thinner side now and go around the leaves. And this is a really nice way to transfer images, especially if you don't feel very confident in drawing from scratch. I quite like this image. It was a nice simple one for this particular Halloween autumnal pour for the Fluid Art Express. And a big shout out to Kayleen or Bubbles, who's an amazing friend and so supportive. She's been there for a very long time now for me, so I just want to say thank you to her and Darren, and again my other fellow artists and dear friends, Hippie Dippy Painter Man, Kat Pender, Tony Pender. Hi guys, hope you're enjoying this one. Just want to say, give you a shout out as well, and also Shannon Baxman and the lovely Christy from Creations by Christy as well. Hi, hope you're doing okay. Right, so I'm just going to do these ones. I don't think I've done these leaves, so if I have, I've forgotten. So let's just quickly do these. And there's a bit in the middle there, a little bit of veins that are barely visible. There we go. And here we've got this beautiful vine, and I love the vines on these things. Let's do this vine down here. Now if this hasn't worked, I'll probably end up having to
delete this footage and start again with a different method. But again, I said I do have white transfer paper, and you can buy this on Amazon, by the way. I'll try and put the link in to my description box for anyone who's interested in purchasing some. It's relatively cheap, but you can also make your own transfer paper by just getting a very soft pencil, shading in on one side of the paper, all across the paper with your pencil, and then simply using the reverse side of the paper so that pencil mark actually transfers. So I think that's it now. I've done the entire thing, and let's lift it off and I pray for the best. So let's see if the transfer actually worked. Now, let me see if I can see it in the light. It's very, very faint, but I can see it. I'm not sure if you can catch it on the camera. But if you can't, don't worry, because I can see, and that's all that matters. And I'm going to go over it now in a second with a different tool. So hi everyone, I'm just going to do the next stage. So this is what it's looking like. I've transferred, well, I've drawn over the top of my very faint lines with a Uni Posca pen in black. And I'm just going to trace over those with some beautiful pearl and pen colours. So this one is orange. I also have green for the leaves here, and some lime or kiwi actually for the insides of the leaves. Now I was going to actually paint the lines in gold initially, and I'm still toying with the idea of maybe going with this gold colour, which is Dovecraft's 3D Pearl Effects, instead of the orange, but I am tempted to use the orange, even though I'm going to infill inside in orange and yellows. So I think at this stage, actually no, I will go with the gold. I think the gold is a really good idea for this, so let's do that and see how that goes. So I'll leave the orange out altogether, and I'm just going to go through it and show you how this is done. It's really very easy. I simply trace the lines using my... It's very easy to do. It's much easier than using a glue gun. There we go. See, already I've done that section, and it will settle down the lines a little bit afterwards. So I'm going to try and do a very straight line here. There we go. And I'm going to trace over the rest of it in exactly the same manner. So I might have to turn this around at times to try and get the right angles. You do have to have a relatively steady hand to do this. Nope, that kind of fell out, but that's fine. I might just take a bit off there. So I do need a bit of tissue here, ideally, to take off anything that I might make a mistake with. So again, I can just... That really didn't help. Oops. Let's do that again. Right, so I'm back on it now, after cleaning up that mess. So here we are. Now I'm just going to do the other lines. You can see now, if I bring it up to you, you can see it looks beautiful, right? Okay, so now it's time for my green. The next stage was to use my UV resin, which was hard, that I got from Temu, and some of my ColourArtes Vivid Intense colours, acrylic colours, fluorescent yellow, orange, and
fluorescent orange are the two that I used for my pumpkins, and I use these colours to tint my resin. I also use blue-green afterwards, and then for the leaves I use fluorescent green as well because I wanted them to glow in the dark with a black light. So here I am just adding more UV resin into my silicone cup, and I don't really need a lot because I'm going to have a very thin layer of it over my pumpkins because I want to be able to see some of the background pour right through my resin, my tinted resin, just to give it that extra special thing that maybe most paintings don't have. And here I am adding a couple of drops of this, and it is an intense colour. You don't need a lot. I think I added in total about 6 to 7 drops though, and they're very small drops, and I mixed that in to my resin there. So what I'm going to do is simply pour this into the segments of my pumpkin, and then use a UV lamp to set that and cure it. And I am simply experimenting really with techniques and seeing what I can come up with. I think that was a total of 6 drops, although there was a couple more drops before I started in this, so a total of about 8 drops of the pigment, of the acrylic paint. And I've never mixed my Vivid Intense with resin before, so this was the first for me, and it was quite exciting to be doing this, to see what happens. And I was hoping that I wasn't going to ruin it, but you never know sometimes. But yep, just trying to experiment and learn along the way. For this Halloween collaboration with the Fluid Art Express, I wanted to do something cutesy rather than spooky this time. And that's the reason I chose pumpkins, which I'm really happy that I did. I hope you like them at the end when you see them. And I'm going to be able to hopefully see these in one way in the daylight, and then in another way completely under black light, UV light later. So hopefully it'll be 2 paintings in one. So I'm going to play some music for you and let you watch me create the rest of the painting and finish this off. So here what you see is the UV resin. Before I cure it with my lamp, I'm going to use a UV lamp now to set the resin. I then decide to do the stem using 2 colours and 2 different brands, TLP Harvest Gold and ColourArtes Persimmon, which is a primary elements pigments, and I mix that into my resin and pour it into the stems of my 2 pumpkins. I really do hope you're enjoying this video, and if you find it helpful in any way, please do consider hitting the subscribe button or leaving me a comment or liking it or sharing it with your friends to help grow my channel so I can produce more videos and tutorials like this for you. Thank you so much to all my viewers for all the wonderful, loving support you give me. I really do appreciate it. So once it was cured, it was time to add the final touches to it. I added a little bit of black acrylic paint, watered down around the edges to make those pumpkins really stand out on the background there. And I think that really helped. This is how it's looking at the moment, and I'm almost done. So I add a bit more definition to the stem with a brown paint pen, and other than that, it is a finished piece now, and it's looking really beautiful, I think. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. But you can see the pour right through that thin resin, and that was deliberate, tinting it very lightly so I could see the pour, and I think it gives it that little bit of interest, something very different. And when you put it under UV light or a black light, this is what it looks like. Those colors really pop, and you can see the fluorescence shining through. I think it looks amazing. I don't know what you think. Something completely different again from me. But you've got two paintings in one here. So under a black light, it looks like this. Really cool. Even the leaves are glowing. And then in the daytime, it looks completely different. And you can actually see the pour through it as well in both versions of it. Let me know what you think, and if you enjoyed it, here it is. Thank you for watching me. And up next today is Venom Fluid Art. See you there.